Guys, welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan. They just got punched in the mouth. They didn't even know how to react.
That is one Derby Diamond.
I'm Mila. Do we want to do a little predicky? That was the last time they showed an initiative to go get a fucking player.
City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero.
I'm Grant. They're talking a lot about you 15. How will you respond 15?
We downgraded from Peppa. Do you know how absurd that is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 65. A nice, healthy, happy podcast for this one. Chelsea 2-1 victors over Liverpool. I did a live stream. I got to be excited for Chelsea in my nice little hate watch. Mila bounced in and out there and got to enjoy it as well. We'll talk about that. And then we will break down Manchester City and their continued run of form with Haaland bagging his 9th goal in the Premier League, I believe, right? 9 in Prem. And then I get to be happy for, because that's been the carousel for United is win one, lose one, win one, lose one. So I get to be happy before an international break. But we all get to be happy before an international break, which will make us sad. We hate international breaks. Anyways, plug. We are looking to get to 100 subscribers, currently at 59. We have videos out on all of our socials, including YouTube Shorts. So go ahead and follow us anywhere you see C.O.C. Network. Let's jump into it with our predicky counter. You guys both suck. Bad week for you guys. Good week for me in terms of results.
You're the only one that
I was the only one who predicted Chelsea to win.
This is
and United to win.
Chelsea to win too.
You both took draws. I took a United win, and you took United.
Foolish.
You guys took United to lose. So really, clearly, I know so much ball. No predickies though. That's the only thing that ultimately matters.
That's what this shows. Is that I'm
this is what the yeah. That's exactly what this show's about. Is just hating as much as possible until ultimately you win. And when we did, Grant, your 5 things from Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah, that was quite the game. The 5 things, I feel like there was a lot to talk about. But first thing I'll mention is Estevao. I mean, I feel like a lot of fans have been begging to see him play more. That United game, he got taken off 5 minutes in. I felt like that could have been a big opportunity for him. So just being able to see him immediately step into a game and have a positive impact as soon as he gets on the ball. I mean, you just get a different feeling than, respectfully, Pedro Neto's getting on the ball. And he showed what he can do. And then also to have the back post happen, Gene, like the sort of understanding, knowing where to be along with the flair and the exciting stuff. I think we're going to have an exciting player in our hands. And the more he plays, the better it's going to get. So really exciting stuff from Estevao. Number 2, Achampong, huge performance. Feel like I've been begging for him all year. Pause. And then, I mean, in this type of game, you don't really want to bring him in with that much pressure, but we had no choice. We didn't have any options in the back, so he was called upon, and I think he stepped up to the plate. And again, there was a mistake or two here and there, small ones, but that's going to happen with young players. I think he showed what he's about. I mean, there was that one play, he had that tackle on Isak and then drove the ball maybe 30 yards, tried to play the pass in. I think he showed a lot. So, again, really good performance from him, gutsy performance really from the whole team. But really happy to see him get that opportunity, and hopefully he gets more minutes the more further along we go. I feel like he's probably talent-wise our best option at center back, but again, he's just so young. So that learning curve is really, really deep and steep in the Premier League. So hopefully he can adjust, but really exciting stuff. Third one, I mean, Caicedo, I feel like I talk about him enough. And you need a goal for people to really give you the recognition. I feel like with these defensive players, it's really kind of confusing. But he was fantastic throughout the whole game. Obviously, that goal early on was huge. Got the place going. I feel like the atmosphere was really good. I feel like a few times a year, the Bridge really gets up for an occasion, and this was one of them. And he sets the tone early with a goal like that. But just beyond the goal, the performance was outstanding, especially later on in the game. Everyone's leggy. There's no defenders. It's back and forth, and he's constantly there for the winner. Even he plays that pass in between the lines to Labia, gets us going. he's irreplaceable. I mean, I don't know where this project is without him. We spent a ton of money on him. I'd do it again in an instant. I mean, he's unbelievable. I think on form, he's the best in the world in that position. I don't know who else you would want. I think he could do everything. I mean, we talked about it when it happened, but he unlocked the Thunder bastard. Like, that was the only thing. It was like, oh, he just doesn't really pop up with goals. Now he's popping up with goals. So again, just really encouraging stuff. It just, to you guys, I know we mentioned earlier, but going into an international break, it's nice to be able to be positive, especially after all the early turmoil, self-induced. But again, I was glad. Results always help calm things down, and he's always a big part. Fourth thing I learned, we got a lot of good showings from young players. I already spoke on Estevao Achampong, but I mean, Hato came on when our second center back came off hurt. So it was Hato and James at the end. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but just crazy end to the game. And he was so calm, composed, being able to walk into that situation. I think Guiu came on. We finally saw him come back since getting recalled and didn't really have an impact goal-wise like you would want from a striker off the bench. But I think even just his energy early on, forcing them to go long, winning the ball back, just putting that pressure on, being an option. Even on the winner, he drags Van Dijk out of position. Just having that presence, I feel like, was important at the end of the game. João Pedro's playing hurt, leggy, out of position, whatever you want to say, but he hasn't been as effective lately. So I think Guiu coming off the bench added something up top for the end of the game. I think both wingers on the left, Garnacho had a pretty positive game. I feel like he positionally is really good. I know you guys were kind of trying to sell me on it before the transfer was official, but he was showing a lot of that today, out of possession, those sort of intangibles I thought he was really good with. And then Gittins, again, our own fans were kind of getting on him early. Haven't really seen much from him. Great cameo, really direct, getting shots on target, getting involved in actions. Really positive stuff from the depth that we've been kind of curious to see. We haven't seen really much from any of these guys. They're all just names, as Mila kind of likes to say about certain signings, but it's good to see that these guys are capable. And again, they're young. There's a learning curve. It's going to be a long season from that standpoint, but really good stuff on the day. Last but not least, trust the manager. When the lineup came out, I wasn't very happy. I don't think anyone even expected Gusto in the middle. Even more shocked once the game started, but there was a game plan and it was executed perfectly. I feel like we always give Maresca credit for that in big games, but he did it again. Gusto in that midfield area, just man-to-man pressing, his energy. Doesn't add much in possession, right? I mean, he can carry the ball a little bit, but he's not going to pick out a killer pass. He's definitely not going to score a goal. But his impact, being able to overload that side and then switch it, expose the other side where Salah doesn't, again, track back defensively, get us those 1v1 opportunities, get chances created. I thought it was a masterclass from him managerially. He also continued the red card streak at the end. I love that. He's Chelsea coded. The people who complain about him are the same people that they're asking for what he already brings, but they don't even see it. Given the managerial carousel we've had, whatever, since Clear Lake came in and the guys we've seen in that touch line, I just don't get it. I mean, I feel like we're blessed right now after what I've had to witness managerially. So I'm all in. I'm with it. I'm backing him all the way. But huge win to go into the international break and finally get some rest for some of these guys. Perfect timing. Hopefully we have some fit defenders for Forest, and hopefully Ange is still in the job.
Yeah. Look, I titled this portion Chelsea is red because I just think it's funny at this point, like 4 straight games, 4 straight red cards. Even if it's your manager, it's just a funny coincidence that keeps coming up. I don't even know if it's coincidence at this point. More of just you guys like red cards.
They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, honestly, I'm curious at this point just to see who's the next guy to get the red. Like, who will it be? I'm hoping it's a midfielder because we've got a goalie, a defender, a forward, and now the manager. So the only thing to round out the squad would be a midfielder. Just for the red card sake. It could be a substitute.
Guy on the bench.
Well, no, because João Pedro got one. He was the forward and the sub.
And got 2 yellows.
He got his second yellow off the. That doesn't make sense.
Two people for Chelsea have gotten reds from the bench. Maresca got 2 yellows from the bench, and then João Pedro came on and got 2 yellows. Are you saying like a player
I'm
needs to get
saying
2
on the bench.
a red? Like just
On the
someone
bench.
sitting on the bench just needs to get fucking sent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. I like that idea. Just like it'll just be who's a player that just sits on the bench and doesn't ever play? Who's always on the bench? I can't think. Usually there's enough rotation, but I got to make a prediction of who it's going to be. Yeah, Jorgensen. Like he just gets really angry or something, and then he just gets sent.
Never
That's
know.
what I'm looking for.
No, you don't. I don't know which direction, Mila, you want to take this. Do you want to start with Chelsea or you want to just bash on the shit team, Liverpool?
What do we have to talk about them?
Because we get to bash on them. I'm gonna rein in some parade here, dude. I got to do it for like 2 hours.
I think Grant covered a lot of the Chelsea stuff, so let's get our Liverpool hate out.
All right, let's get the Liverpool hate out, and then we'll go into Chelsea.
Yeah. Lol.
Lol, yeah.
130 million record-breaking transfer. Sat on the bench. No, one. That's like the first one.
Sorry.
Sat on the bench.
Just the 80th.
Didn't start.
80 million.
Didn't start. Hasn't contributed anything. He's probably contributed the least out of all the attacking players on the squad right now. So that's fun to talk about and watch. I'm sure they're enjoying that. Isak was okay. Like on paper, he walks away with an assist. I
Lucky.
don't think that was what the intention was. Great from Gakpo though to follow up on that and just keep running and finish it off. I didn't see a lot to take away from them positively, because you go against a depleted Chelsea squad and you're walking teams. It's not. It matches what we've been saying, but it doesn't match the narrative that the rest of the media has been talking about, in that this team is unstoppable. Especially if it's this depleted Chelsea side. Not even them at their best. No Cole Palmer. Like, come on. What are we talking about?
No, they
They're
need
supposed to be-
time, is what I saw. It's a transitional
time.
period. Is that? But again,
Ridiculous.
Fuck off.
kind of the thing we always get upset about is the hypocrisy. Like, they cannot be the winners of the window and unbeatable and then need time. It cannot be both. I did think they were big winners of the window, and I knew there would be issues. I think you guys were more heavy on it than I was, but I just thought, okay, the talent will probably figure itself out. But I mean, you guys again talked about it early on when they were winning games. It was very close. The margins, everything went their way, and now we're seeing the opposite. Both double-edged sword. But I think international break also comes at a good time for them. Probably not the fans. You have to sit on 3 straight losses, and that's obviously tough. But I think for the team, it's going to be a big sort of reset. You're probably going to see him revert a little more towards what he was doing last year. I think it's going to be, as soon as there's any sort of pressure, and I think it's already kind of happening, he's immediately just going to revert back to, okay, I know he can do this role, he can do that role, and it's not going to be the big names every time. I mean, I don't think he drops Salah, but there was another sort of similar performance from him where there's not much of an impact. Again, there were a few moments. Shot wasn't there. He did have a nice pass or two, but again, not much at all from him. From a player of that quality standard, you expect more. So I think there are questions there. I mean, this is the first real blip he's had since coming into the job. I definitely think it's premature that people are talking about his job security, but you are going to have to see his first real adjustment. So I mean, do you guys have any clue what that'll look like? I think he goes straight back to what it was last year. I mean, like Szoboszlai's coverage for Salah in the press, Wirtz doesn't do that, right? Like, he's going to have to go back to what he knows.
What is going back to what he knows? He's got an issue on his hand, and Liverpool as a whole, this was the whole thing with them winning the window and spending as much money as they did, is they've walked themselves into this issue. I mean, and the international break point, their entire starting 11, Connor Bradley's probably going too. They don't have a single guy that's going to be there. Like, unless it's probably Konate because of injury, like every single player in that starting 11 is going to international break. They are not getting on the training pitch. They are not working out anything. This team has issues fundamentally. They are way too offensive.
Konate had another brutal game.
He was, and he got hurt.
Brutal game from Konate.
And he got hurt. I don't know why it didn't count as a substitution for injury, because he was limping the entire way back. And then they literally were so fed up with Joe Gomez that they put Gravenberch, who's their best midfielder, in center back. They have so many flaws that it's going to continue to come up this season because they didn't address the right areas. They just spent a ton of money. And yes, they did win to that extent. Like, congratulations, you spent $400 million. But they've created more issues than they did solving a team that was already champions. I'm honestly a little flabbergasted by it, because now they've got so many issues with, like, I just look at the substitution pattern. I mean, he takes off Bradley. He puts Szoboszlai at right back. They just bought Frimpong. That's a right back. They played him at right wing midweek. Salah can't come off because he's Salah. You're obviously going to bring on your $130 million record-breaking signing. So you bring him on. Now you got to move your midfielders around. You take out McAllister. I just don't know what they do. It's always going to be forward thinking. So in games where they need to, in this one, you're away from home, you've got a point. You probably should just sit back a little bit. They can't. They physically can't. They have to go and win every match at the death. And that's not a recipe for success. At least I don't think it is.
I think they Liverpool fans definitely don't want to admit it because of how it all unfolded, but I think you really are starting to miss Trent now. I mean, just from one of the videos I watched on it, but when you press Liverpool man-to-man and they have Trent, he can play a pass first time and immediately split your press, right? You don't have that anymore. To your point, too, when you think of just whether it's the guys they brought in or the existing guys in the squad, their optimal positions are forward, right? Even whether it's Kirkesh, Frimpong, like Andy Robertson's your defensive-minded left back. That's kind of crazy as is, right? Like, everyone's forward-thinking, and as soon as you have these sort of issues, it's hard to kind of adjust because, I mean, inherently, every option you make, you still have the same issue. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, I'm hearing a lot from Liverpool fans, too. McAllister just hasn't been up to the standard. I don't think he was great against us either.
No, but
maybe you drop Szoboszlai in there with Gravenberch. It's the 10. Like, who knows? I think we're going to see a lot of different combos.
I don't want to hear any of this. We've talked about it for a while. They were all they overperformed last season.
Yeah, and they're also being asked to be gods.
And they played significant minutes. And those performances should be applauded, but they cannot do that consistently 2 seasons in a row. They brought in people that they thought would work to fill the gaps that have left, and it was fucking terrible. Like we talked about early in the season. I think you both mentioned it. Just what are they doing? No. I don't know. And then obviously the injury to their young center back is tough, but even with that signing, it really wasn't enough cover for if Virgil van Dijk drops in form or if he gets hurt. I'm not saying he's dropped in form necessarily, but that was not a good performance from him. And I think that's really what tips the scales for this Liverpool team. If he plays well, the scales are balanced and they will perform and go out there and get the job done. Most times. Because if they're not creating stuff, then they can hold on. He can keep them in a game. Literally, single-handedly. Or Alisson can help out with that. But he's out for a little bit too. So now they have to look at this situation that they've put themselves in. No cover. You can argue that the partner center back isn't even settled. So it's like, how many center backs do they really have? Let alone just defenders.
They think they have 2. That's what I took from it. Like, because Gravenberch played center back over Joe Gomez, they don't value Joe Gomez as a center back. So they have 2 center backs. They have 2 center backs in a campaign where they're going to play 70 games potentially. How many games do you play if you go all the way to every
60 something? Yeah,
it's too many games. I talk about it a lot in terms of like you can't relate bad process with good results. That is the entirety of the beginning of this Liverpool season. It has been bad process masked by good results.
I mean, yeah, I saw someone kind of relate it to our start last season where we were undefeated.
pretty similar.
The only undefeated team in Europe for a couple weeks, but that masked a lot of the cracks that were evident at the end of the season that we all saw just looking back at it. And I do think it's really similar. They had a lot of issues that were covered up by results. And like Grant was saying, the results just stop going their way now, and that's perfect for us in the podcast, but
Yeah.
and our teams as well. But from a Liverpool perspective, what is the game plan? Because some of these guys, I think you're looking to them, you're pointing at them, and the fans thought they could do it. They've been convinced. Everyone else around them has been telling them that they can't do it, and now is the time for them to do it. Like just prove themselves. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's harder to fucking keep the trophy than win it one time.
Yeah. I think to the first question that you answered or you asked, Grant, like I don't know what the fix is. Realistically, like they can't like they have an issue with Isak up front. Like Ekatike's played better than him.
Yeah, like people we love making fun of Darwin Núñez, but one thing he always did was work hard, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when you have a player like Salah who you cater to so much, covering that is just as important as complementing it with talent, right? So not only is he kind of learning, okay, I'm playing with an out-and-out striker again. Now Liverpool as a team are trying to cope with having even less work rate at the front. So it's these little things they have to adjust to that they're just clearly not there yet. So
Yeah.
I think the adjustment is going back to what you know, whether that's old or new personnel. But I think at least from the standpoint of how they're setting up, even he's going to have to revert to something he knows.
I love it. I think it's great. I love this turmoil. I love that they've lost 3 straight games, and I love that their fans are
And they're
calling
crashing
for their
out, bro.
manager's head. It's fucking awesome.
It's crazy.
Almost
Slippery
racist
slopes.
remarks. It's slippery, dude, and they slip faster than anybody else on planet Earth. They slip so quick. They crash out so hard. I love it. I love it. But I do want to go back to Chelsea because I think equally with how shit Liverpool were, I thought Chelsea were just as brilliant. Like you were saying, Maresca was fantastic on the day. You were talking about the lineup. I think he attacked this match perfectly. He said,
Yep.
hey, Liverpool, take the ball. Go ahead. You're going to give us opportunities on the counter, and 2 of our fastest players are going to attack you in behind, and we're going to make Kirkez and Bradley.
I mean, we had more possession,
Yeah.
but I
Doubling.
think just
I do
from a
think they
standpoint of go for it.
more so you guys took the ball back so quickly.
Yeah.
They were okay with Liverpool receiving the ball because they knew they were going to get it back just as quick. And I think that was a big part of the game. I know Dylan and I talked
Attacked
about it on
quickly,
just the live stream. Just the energy that Chelsea had as a team compared to Liverpool was I think it was the biggest difference in the match.
Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, center backs following guys into midfield, the midfielders again pressing really high. Like the commitment as a unit was fantastic. And I think I didn't mention him in the 5 things, but Badiashile, I mean, he came off hurt again. Hopefully he's all right. But what a performance from him! I mean, when he first came over, when we had Potter, his first sort of 6 months here, he was flawless, and then came into a Pochettino team after being hurt, and he never really looked the same. Always had a mistake in him. I know I was mad at Colwell early last season for it, just kind of the nonchalantness on the ball. Like he would have errors because of that. But man, when he's dialed in, I mean, you see all the tools that he has. There's definitely a player there. Hopefully he can stay fit and stay in this run of form. So we need defenders. Just throughout the whole 90 minutes, I mean, that last half hour, especially after they equalized, both teams had, well, we didn't have any center backs. They had 1 center back on the field. It was just back and forth. Let's go. Like both teams were going to score. Neither team was, as soon as the ball went out of play, it didn't matter which team got the ball. They were moving. So it was really fun to watch. Definitely stressful. But yeah, I just thought that was a great advertisement for the sport. I mean, I think that was a really good game for the league. We kind of complain about, how things have gotten overly tactical and it's not exciting. I think this was, obviously there's tactics, but it was the opposite of that. It was really entertaining, good on the eye. Yeah, just a gutsy performance. I couldn't remember the last time we had a last minute winner like that. in a game of this sort of magnitude early on in the season can
No.
hopefully set the tone and really get us picked up. So yeah, just
Yeah,
a
you guys
miss
have
from everybody.
you guys have a nice stretch of games after the international break to kind of kick on, hopefully with some health. I mean, let's talk about Steve. We have to talk about Steve. That performance had me almost out of my chair. The only reason I wasn't out of my chair was because the camera only goes to about this high. So if I get out of my chair, I literally you're just seeing my tits, and like nobody needs to see my tits on the live. I mean, I could have got my tits out, but seriously, the kid is an unreal talent.
Magic, bro.
Unreal talent.
X Factor. He's got that X Factor already. And again, my only really critique of him, because it's definitely not a complaint, is the last action's not always there. And again, he's
No.
just into the league. He's 18 years old. Totally fine. But even in midweek against Benfica when he came on, receives the ball in the middle of the field and just anytime I'm thinking, okay, release it. Just dribbles 3-4 guys, finds a pass. Just the raw talent and ability, just willingness to go, get forward, whether he's playing inside, outside. Yeah, he is exciting. I just need to keep seeing him play. I hope he gets the tick he deserves because I think that's a really special talent.
He is a special talent, and it'll be interesting to see how they manage that level of talent because it's not like Palmer where he knows the league and understands everything, and he's also 18. Like the kid's just special. I mean, there was a couple times he picked up the ball off of like corners or Liverpool having you guys pressed in kind of deep, and he just turned and like a pass hit that much weaker is a goal. The goal is what ultimately gets you guys the winner, but he made so many actions in 20 minutes. He was on the pitch for 20 minutes. He was the best player. He was the best player.
He was tracking back too, just that work rate. Again, the willingness to do that dirty work while being so nice to watch, good on the eye. I mean, yeah, it's a great combination. He seems like a great character, good group around him, good support system. I mean, hopefully the stars align. But I mean, I'm really excited about his potential.
I think they will. He's super talented from what we've seen. He looks intelligent, and like you said, that hunger just is there. It's evident every time he's on the pitch. So I think he'll be in for a great career.
Yeah, I think we'll see him play wide more to start. I mean, just because, again, how young he is. I feel like the physicality is something that takes a bit of time to adjust to. So being in between the lines, I think he'll still get his opportunities he did in the Champions League. But I think we're going to see a lot of him wide. And then the more he progresses, you'll see him inside those pockets. But yeah, bright future. Really bright.
Yeah, him and Palmer as a tandem sounds pretty fearful in terms of, when we talk about Chelsea's spending or everyone talks about Chelsea's spending in terms of the $1 billion, like it's between him and Palmer that can take you guys to a different level.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the other players, to be honest with you. In terms of that, I think the ceiling is so further raised with those guys. Like everyone else kind of just gets you to a baseline floor. Those guys are your ceiling breakers. It's not even ceiling level. Like they just, shoot you through the roof.
Earth shattering.
That 21 Jump Street. That was a 20. I was trying to do a 21 Jump Street reference, but I couldn't think of the
It
the
happens.
reference entirely. As long as you guys know what I'm talking about, that's what's important to me.
Just the fact that you're referencing that movie alone, it's enough for me.
That's what I do. All right, we good to switch over to Manchester City?
Oh yeah.
All right, Emil, you're up.
Yay. Not 5 things learned. 5 talking points. City 1, Brentford 0. We're definitely going to talk about this afterwards, but I'll start with it. The first thing is Holland is inevitable, and I feel like I talk about this every game, but I think that's part of the point. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. He will be one of my talking points every game because that's how inevitable he is. The goal itself, he just willed his way into it. Just pure strength, brute strength on the center back. He couldn't do anything. Once he gets in front of him and it's him in the goal, I think the goalie was in for a rough one. And that was it though. That was the only goal. I know we have a graphic that we'll show later, so I'll hold off on talking further about that. Second is that these first goals seem to come easy this season. They come quick and early, but they don't find the follow-up goal, and that's the real issue, is that there is no follow-up. We stay in these games and we let the other team have a lifeline late into these games. Sometimes we get away with the 3 points, sometimes it ends like the Monaco game. The Arsenal game is another example of that. It's not enough right now, and again, back to that graphic, when we look at it, you'll see why. Third, Nico G needs to keep improving. Another guy that I feel like I've been talking about like every week at this point. He keeps playing though. He's not supposed to be playing, but he keeps playing because Rodri's out with a sore knee or a hamstring little injury, which is going to be the case. He's just come back from a year-long injury. So he's not up to speed physically. So Nico G has to fill that hole. And I think we talked about that last week, but it's even more evident now that that is going to be the case because Rodri went off not even too late into the game. So Nico G just needs to keep improving. Pep has already talked about his development, and he's super happy with his ability, just taking the knowledge that Pep has to offer him. And it's just willingness to learn. So I think it's a good sign. Rodri 2.0 is coming sooner than we anticipated, I think. 4 was Gavardiol and Diaz. These guys are starting to look like a real center back partnership. I think the stat is like 2 goals in the Premier League, 4 goals in the Premier League in the past 10 games that they've played together. Some of those go into last season, but that's ridiculous, I think. And on top of that, just what we can do in possession with a left-footed left center back is telling, because before we just didn't have that option. Gavardiol looks confident in his ability to build up out of there. He's created Haaland's goal, and just defensively, they shore up the back line together. Nico O'Reilly, I think, has a big part to play in that too, but as a unit, as a pairing, these two have been really good. And then the last thing, I do think Foden's back. It was just a tough game for our offense, and he was kind of the only creative outlet. I think Savio tried, and Bob had some good moments, but it wasn't enough. So my last talking point would be that either Cherky needs to find his way into the squad with Foden, or Reinders, with the minutes that he does use, needs to have an uptick in that creativity that we saw in moments, but it needs to be more frequent to create more chances for Meat Slab.
Yeah, meat slab.
Meat Slab.
Meat slab. 9 goals in the Prem.
Ridiculous.
Dude, they said something on the broadcast, and it was like, and Haaland has scored his 9th goal, and that matches, or that passes Brentford's tally for the entire year. And I was like, well, that's pretty telling.
That's just what he does.
Fuck's sake.
To answer the question that is the title on the banner below us, yes. And I think it's cute, and we can have these conversations with the other guys that pop up every now and then. The Isaks, who's gone ghost.
I mean,
who else is there?
The only other player
really
that I think has a shout is Kane.
Kane
but
now, yeah, Kane right now.
It's also just a different.
It's the German.
It's
league
different.
tax.
It's different. I think when it's
Premier
all said and
League is
done,
what
like,
what I was talking about.
No, I think when it's all said and done, and look, the guy's got a 10-year contract. I think we'll look at him as the greatest striker to ever play in the Prem. I don't know how it doesn't go in that direction. The guy scores goals for fun. It's a farmers league to him. It's a farmers league. Every year it's like he's just gonna have probably 30 plus goals, and he's made
20.
it. No, what was that?
It's a bad year. 20 is a bad year. That's the floor.
And he missed how much time? Like it's stupid.
He missed how many goals?
Dude, how many goals has he missed this year?
Not as much as last, like not as consistently as he was last year.
No, I agree.
A lot more efficient. Yes, back to the in the world shout. Yeah, I think Kane and Mbappe right now have a shout at that. I I don't know.
Mbappe's locked in. It's a long
Mbappe's
season.
locked in,
It's
but
just
it's a long season.
It's those three this year. It really is.
Yeah.
It's those three in terms of nines. Like, again, we're gonna see who wins what, who puts up what numbers. But yeah, I mean, Holland's in Holland mode. Like, if anyone was wondering, I feel like he's showing a little more in his game. Not that he never had it, but again, he's getting more opportunity. And yeah, he's clearly the number one guy there. Everyone talked about it when he first signed, but they're going to cater to him. We're there. Like, they figured out how to cater to him. But to Mila's point, I mean, the graphics pretty ugly. You got to have more people chip in. But yeah, he's you know what you're getting from him, and that's really nice to have. Just okay, you know you're getting what 30 this year at least.
It's automatic.
Yeah, like, that's nice to work around. You can build with that. So yeah, I mean, on form in the league, yeah, no doubt. But it's definitely those three for the season in the world.
We would not be in a good position right now in the league without
you guys would be bottom half.
Mm-hmm. And that's super telling because our defense has done a complete 180 from last season. We look refreshed, renewed. It look like it takes a lot to get a goal against us. You're just to get past the defense and get the shot off is a lot. Then you have to beat Donnarumma, and that usually takes a wonder goal. I haven't seen much like needless goals come off from his own errors yet, which is nice. But on the other end of the ball is where we're having the issues now, and I think a lot of that comes down to injuries. Unfortunately, don't like making that excuse, but Cherky out, Marmoush out, Savio injured, coming back, whatever. I do think he has a lot of work to do. But in terms of just the goal distribution, this is not good.
No.
I another thing to talk about this though is that Reinders should have like 7 goals this season, and he's either just hitting the post, hitting the bar, or completely whiffing the shot, and on the one that he should be putting away. So I think when he does click a bit, and Foden starts to click a little more with him and Haaland as a unit, then we'll see those numbers for those three go up, because those are the three I'm kind of expecting to contribute the most in terms of goals.
Yeah, this game was ugly. It's like ugly. Like, I thought you guys were gonna run away with it. It felt like a old City game where you guys held all the possession.
Yeah.
You guys had 9 shots in the first half and 1 in the second half. Like, it became ugly as soon as the second half like kicked off. And then, like you said, it left chances.
Yeah.
Like, Thiago probably should have scored, and then he fumbles the ball in his feet, and then he kicks it right at Donnarumma. And Donnarumma obviously makes a good save. I'm not going to take it away from him, but like, you're right. You leave chances, you leave the door open. I've seen it enough times this season. I think everyone has. You leave that door open, someone will kick it through, and they will kick it down. So you got to have more dispersal of goals. I think we got on Liverpool last season for the Salah stuff. Yeah. I mean, he had it was like 40%.
70%.
This is
70, bro. Like,
he had 70%
contributions. Goal contributions.
To be fair, we got shut up last year because he had 70% and they won the league. I mean, he's at 9. I mean, close to 70 here.
It's about.
I just think the story of the game. I mean, again, this isn't going to be a game we look back on as a 1-0 win away at Brentford. You do the job. That's the whole title charge. Like, those are the type of games you get done. But I think it sounds like, just the way we were describing it, sounded a lot like kind of the criticisms of Arsenal last season, where it's like you get the first one and you just immediately, not foot off the gas fully, but you get content with that one. You don't really, there's no sense of urgency for that second. And the way a lot of the top teams are playing, a team like Brentford, it'll take 1 or 2 passes over the top and you're exposed. And to your guys' point, the Igor Thiago chance, that very easily could have been an equalizer, and all of a sudden you're back to square one trying to break this team down again. So it's definitely important. Got to get goals from other sources, but having a source like Haaland in the middle of it definitely helps.
Yeah. Fuck, he's so good. He's so good. I don't.
Mhm. Yeah. I want to say Marmoush will help a lot too once he comes back into the fold,
course.
but I
I'll be
feel like
no. I
he's gonna
mean,
heat up and then go to AFCON.
he wasn't very good before the injury, Marmoush. So it's been just an attacking thing in general. Like every attacker, barring really, I mean, Doku was pretty good. I was honestly, was he? Did he
Doku's
have
been
like an
good.
injury?
Been pretty good.
Did he have an injury
today?
going into this?
Rotations.
No, he's just injury prone, so I think they're being safe with it.
No, that's fair.
He came on at the end.
No, yeah, I mean, he didn't do much, but he's one of those players where like if he's not starting, I just don't know if he ever gets enough time to really click it on. If that makes sense. Like I feel like he's such a feel it out player when he takes, he
He's
has a
been
bunch
good.
of
I just think
touches.
they're probably
No, he
rotating.
has. No,
Mhm.
he was the only. I mean, really the only rotated player. They put in Bob, which
Yeah.
Bob was fantastic by the way. Should have came away with a couple of assists in the first half.
Bob
But
was really good, yeah, and I think that is an important talking point, though. I mean, we guess we've been talking about it, but could have had a bunch of assists. This
could have.
seems to be
It's a lot of hypotheticals.
the
Yeah.
theme of this season for the City attackers is that there's a lot of close chances, what ifs, and we all hate that. Like fucking what if what? They need to go put them away, and I think that just comes with time. Some of these are just going on the wrong end of the post.
Yeah.
Kind of what we were talking about with Liverpool. Everything was going their way. Now it's not. Can flip the other way too. They start hitting the right side of the post. They start going in.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that does click into gear for Foden, for Reinders, anyone else who may be taking shots, but I don't think anyone else takes shots on the team.
No.
Nico O'Reilly will get one every other game.
Yeah, to your point, like Marmoush is the only other clear goal scoring threat. Like he ball at his feet, you know that he can have a strike from anywhere, and it has the ability to go. And Nut Bob, Reinders, even Foden to a certain extent. That's in Sevilla. That's not their games. Games aren't predicated on goals. It's about creation. You're getting the creation. You're just not getting the goals unless it's coming from the freak alien.
Yeah, we need clinicalness.
Yeah.
We don't have it right now outside of the most clinical player in the world right now. So it's not a bad problem to have, but it's certainly a problem.
Yeah. It could be worse. It could be worse. To wrap up this game, because I think that both the Chelsea and this match, along with Arsenal, because Arsenal are now in first and they deserve their shine for getting into that spot. I think they've had a rough slate to start. Huh?
Till February.
Till February.
Season.
It's a long season, I know. But they're in first.
No,
they get their
February.
prize.
That's my prediction.
Put it in the rafters.
And then they'll slip. But I just think that the league is wide open. All of your clubs have a chance still. We were thinking that when City drew to Arsenal, like, is there enough wins left in this to make it happen? I am now telling everyone that I think there is. I think there's enough wins for everybody.
For me, because we talked about this on the live stream, but I couldn't remember if it was on the last episode or the live stream. Yeah, but I think when we said that though is that we thought City were going to drop those points and the challengers next to them were going to continue to keep winning, mainly Liverpool. That didn't happen. They've since dropped points, and I think that's blown it wide open because everyone was saying that Liverpool walked away with it. And I do think even that media this narrative that they've walked away with it, with the whole media running with that, is that it has its own power in it. Kind of blows sail into the wind into the sails of the Liverpool team. But I think it's also the silence is pretty deafening because I haven't seen as much talk now that they're in this run of 3 games from necessarily the media, more so from their own fans.
I've seen a lot of cope.
Exactly. There's a lot of cope. I don't know. I think the media has its own power and it can be good and bad for them is kind of what I'm getting at. And
I think it's gotten
they're at that
obvious if
area.
that's what you're getting to. I think it's really obvious what they want to see, who they want to do all that. But again, that's what makes this year so great. It is wide open. It is wide open. I think. I mean, Maresca said it in the beginning of in his presser, but I think it applies just in general. Any team in the world can get got at. I think that's one. There's not this one world beater team that's invincible. I think in any given night, there's a lot of top teams that can give each other a run for their money. So it's going to be a really exciting year, both domestically and European nights.
Mm-hmm. I think good examples of that. Barcelona today
Yeah.
got
Got
humbled.
whacked.
Real Madrid got humbled by Atletico a week ago.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
Atletico drop points.
It's a world football thing, like Grant
It
was
is.
saying. It's
Carabag
exciting
are
for
going to win
sure.
Champions League at this rate.
Hey, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Alrighty. I get to be
Speaking of
excited.
anything is possible,
I get to be excited. I get to be excited. So I'll be excited. Yeah, United won. They won a game. Jekyll and Hyde. This team wins one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. But they won this one. So I'll go off my 5 things on that. First point. It was a dominant first half and dominant performance in general. Off the back of a couple of key rotations. I thought Mason Mount was really good. Really good. And he's been the one player that, because of the injuries early on, hasn't really gotten his shine. And that was a big question mark going into the match, was like, why is he starting? Why are we not starting Cunha? And I looked at it as well, we have rotation now. We can actually rotate guys. Like, Cunha wasn't good in the Brentford match. He was trying too many things. And then all of a sudden, he clicks on and Mount scores. I thought he was really good. And I thought that he provided a level of stability because Dowlett was awful. I wish I could make a point on that guy. He's fucking horrendous. I can't watch him. I can't watch him anymore. He's so bad. He's so bad. He's only there for, I think it's long throws. I really don't know what he provides. Anyways, point 2. C.O.C. back-to-back goals in back-to-back games. And it was another poacher's goal. And I got to actually see the jump man this time, which was awesome. It wasn't just a media comp. I actually got to see him do the Super Mario, which was great. It was great. He's playing really well, but his link-up play in this one was particularly really good. I think that you can tell the differences between him and a guy like Højlund or Xerxes. Like, the ball comes into him, it's off his chest because he's got this massive frame, and he's spraying it out to Ahmed or to Mbumo or to Mount, and it's working. And you can tell that that's why Amrin wants that style of striker. Point 3. Mbumo and Ahmed, that was the most comfortable they've looked in any game together. I thought Ahmed was particularly at his best in this one. I don't know if that was because he was playing, a team that he was on loan for and he wanted to impress, but he looked good. He was sharp. He took his chances. Probably could have came away with a goal or assist, but in general, just played a really good game. Mbumo's been up there for most consistent performer for United, and he's been worth the money that we've spent so far. I've really enjoyed his performances. He comes away with an assist in this one, off obviously a really nice goal from Mount, but he's direct. He runs well. He presses well. He's been good. So that's 3. Point 4. I can't get too far into this without talking about the keeper. It was the biggest thing of the whole match day. Like, he was incredible. And what I mean by incredible is he did his job. He just did his job, which Bayindir hasn't done all season. Onana hasn't done in a long time. But really, when it comes to our big sides, you ask them to be mistake-free, and you ask them to make a save when they need to make a save. That's what Donnarumma has done for Manchester City since coming in. And Layman's in this one. Xhaka has a shot. He actually reads it and puts both hands to the ball, forcing it out of play. That ball is in the back of the net if it's Bayindir. I can almost guarantee it. And so he gets credit there. And also, he was great in the air. Sunderland were just playing these balls over top, and he was just coming and claiming them. He had 2 high claims. There were only 2 high claims for him to really get. And so he was good, and he won man of the match. And I think if you're Ruben Amorim, if this is what you were waiting for him to make his mark on a easier game, which Sunderland have been good, then this was the time to do it, and it worked out really well. Now, the question is, because he said rotation, I'm not certain that he's going to go back to Bayindir, but if he did, that would be ludicrous. He should be the number 1 for the foreseeable future, and I don't want to see anybody else in that. And then 5, United have not had good records under Ruben Amorim, but they are starting to build one. 3 straight wins at home. I can't remember the last time I was able to say that either, whether it was under him or Ten Hag. They haven't done that in a while. The back-to-back kind of stuff hasn't been there. And so the fact that he's got 3 straight matches at home where they're winning means that Old Trafford is becoming a place where at least the players feel comfortable. And you can tell in the matches when they're playing at home, they just look and play more comfortable and in control. And this one in particular, I think that was a culmination of all of the matches so far at Old Trafford. But they played a damn close near 90 minutes worth of actual good football. And that's where I'll stop my 5 things. So we can go and have a chat on United's first dominant performance of the year and clean sheet. Now there's only, I think, 3 teams left that haven't had a clean sheet. Because there was 4 up until that. Did you guys watch it? I know City was City. No, City was
No,
no.
I didn't.
Was
I watched
anybody?
the
Was
first
there?
half. It was really disappointing. I expected
Yeah, you guys.
more of a
Yeah,
fight
because you
from
both.
Sunderland,
I think
but
Mila took 2-0 Sunderland. I don't know if Grant was at the same.
I've been really
Me
big
too
on
on.
them.
They've been a good side. I don't blame you for thinking it.
But
yeah,
I
United
think
looked
this is
very
a little more
surprisingly
telling of
competent.
United.
That's a good way of putting it.
Surprisingly competent.
Surprisingly competent.
Very, very. I mean, Sunderland towards the second half again, they're able to get forward more, but I mean, I really think that just comes down to you're down, you throw bodies forward, you're going to get chances, like you put a ball in the box, etc. But yeah, I looked really comfortable for most of the game for United, and again, surprisingly, I maybe that's just how low I see them, but yeah, I don't think it changes too much for me in the long term, but it is good to see the signs of certain players being capable. I really think that's what it is over there. It's such a low standard. You got to get somewhere. Just being able to see these types of things, because again, these games last year were a challenge. So to be able to get something, see positives again, Mount you bring up when he's able to play, you see a lot of managers go to him as like a reliable guy because you know exactly what he's going to give you. When he's out there, he's going to work hard for the team, and he's very technically sound. So it's a pretty high floor there when he starts. And yeah, he had a really good goal, and I think getting it early really set the tone. You're less nervous. You're able to play more freely. You're not chasing a goal. I do think Dallo was horrible.
God, he's awful.
But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. I still think you'll see similar issues against tougher opponents. But again, it's good to be able to go into an international break with positivity. As open as the league is, they could still be bad and scam a decent finish in the table, right? So it's something to build on, regardless of who the manager is. It's going to be pretty much the same group of guys. So to be able to build some momentum for them will be nice.
Yeah. Dude, all I'm looking at here is just the importance of Casemiro. It was talked about that the 6 was an important spot, but he's been really good. And all the matches where he's actually played, we've won or played well. Arsenal, we played well.
So much weight, and I know we
He
joked
did.
about it in the preseason that it would be helpful, but I think it's a lot more helpful than we even thought because he looks like he's gliding compared to what he was last season. He was sluggish and just honestly it looked like the football had caught up with him. But now he looks like he could still compete, and it's a year later from these conversations, which is I think it's just impressive. Stopgap. He's a stopgap, and he's been a stopgap for a while, probably longer than he's needed to be.
Yeah.
So to be able to come back and fill that role again, I think is just super impressive. But you guys do need to fill that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just performance-wise, all I really need to see with United is consistency. It's hard to say that when the next game after the international break is Liverpool, but that would be fucking telling, wouldn't it? I think that would be the best way to say, hey, that's the best time to start building your streak. You add the fucking champions to the second list on your kill streak.
Dude, if you could go in the direction of Amorim finally gets back-to-back wins, he breaks the away losing streak, and you put Liverpool at 4 straight losses, like look, scripts sometimes write themselves. This could be our championship.
Narratives are fun. Narratives make footy fun.
Game 7.
Yeah, this should be Game 7.
Honestly, speaking of Game 7, Sesko's probably gonna dunk all over fucking VVD's face.
Oh God, I hope so. I hope he jump mans on him. Jump. I need the jump, man. It's so much fun when he gets to do it. I I don't know. I've tried to not get too high or too low on any United performance because that's been
Smart man.
the thing. But like it was good to see United play well and dominate a match. But also they just scored
You can
early.
still
Like
enjoy it on the day.
yeah, people want United, like everything that United happens, like anything that happens, it's got to be the most negative fucking thing ever. Like I saw people after this one. Well, it's just Sunderland. It's like, well, yeah, Sunderland's in fucking 5th, dude. Like, what are we talking
Yes,
about? They played
Sunderland you
well.
should be beating, but that doesn't mean you can't celebrate the win today. Like, does this performance mean Amram's going to turn around, get top 4? No.
No,
But
I don't
does that
know.
mean you can't celebrate? The full whistle blows. You're just like, all right, cool.
Craziness.
No, you
I
should
think
enjoy it.
this
I
was
mean, it's
just
good.
it's a product of consistent years of not being that great, and people just are looking for that consistency that we were talking about, and they're skeptical of that coming. But
Sure. I mean, if you have
Understandable.
questions of the
that's just being
manager, I get
negative.
it.
Yeah,
But it's just being negative to be negative because that's what gets clicks and
that's
views,
exactly
and
yeah.
that's
It was
crap.
not a negative performance. There's nothing to be
No.
upset with on that day whatsoever. I mean, you have a keeper who's competent. You score 2 goals. Like, great. You
Yeah.
don't do that every day. Enjoy it and then
No.
move on. If you do it again at Anfield, okay, maybe we can have another discussion.
Let's get let's
Bringing a little
agree
bit more
that.
to the table. We
Yeah.
can bring more to the table then. But again, you enjoy this. You file it away, keep it for later. But yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Anytime where I don't see us in the bottom half of the table, like I get a little bit happy. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Like
As you should.
that's nice.
Absolutely.
That's nice. I get to enjoy this because it was just not
That's
that
why.
for.
That's why I didn't want to lose on the weekend, bro. If we didn't win, we would have been under United. I was like, oh, we can't have this.
Yeah,
I know it'll get brought up. I don't want to deal with it. And again, it's early,
fair.
but it's something to build on.
It is something to build on. I think special shout out goes to the back three. I thought obviously I have no idea why he keeps playing Maguire. So over it. So it just doesn't work. Delick's been so good in the middle, and Euro's been so good. I don't care. Like now you've got Layman's, and he can come and claim something. And Sesko is 6'5". Like you put him as the front post guy. We've seen it with Holland. Like
Watch the tape on Holland.
That's it. That's all you need to do. Hey, I know how to deal with a long throw, and you stick your biggest motherfucker at the front post, and you just have him deal with it. It's not rocket. Sometimes it's not that rocket science. Like it can be a little easier than that. Like if you have your biggest, best athlete just at the front post, it can clear up a lot of issues. United haven't conceded on a set piece in like I think 2 matches. I think Brentford scored all theirs from open play, so I can be happy about that too. I'd much rather score from open play than from set pieces. It pisses me the fuck off. Hate that. Hate it more than anything.
Take them.
Yeah, I'll take them. I think my last point on United was scoring early, scoring first. Like when they do that, then it allows you to make rotations where you can take out Casemiro in the 60th minute and bring on Mainu or Ugarte, because then you're not so leaky defensively that like his legs not being there. Because in this one, he got a yellow card because his legs were gone by like the 65th minute. And it was like, you got to take him out because he's going to get a second. And that's the only issue. Like Mila said, it's a stopgap. And until United get that true 6, like that's when you can see maybe United build towards consistency. That might have to wait till January. But if they can, that's kind of where I'm at. Like if they can just stay afloat until then, and then you can maybe get a 6 in January, then you can go and do stuff. But that'll also tell me something about Ineos. If they don't go get like a 6 and everybody on planet Earth can go see that the 6 is an issue, regardless if they have a new manager or not, then we don't know what we're doing. And they don't know what they're doing. And they should probably...
Is Amrabat on loan available?
It should be. It should be.
No, I think to your point with the defenders, I think both De Ligt and Euro have looked really good despite being in a team that tends to leak goals or have moments of being exposed. I think both of them they can hold their heads high with their performances. So I think, again, where United are, to be able to see, okay, the keeper, again, it's very early with the keeper, but he looks competent, check. And then Euro De Ligt, that's good. I think Luke Shaw is absolutely not the long-term solution at that position. You want Lissandro to come back, get him to full fitness. Okay, now you have a back line. Okay, now we got to address the midfield. Got to address the wingbacks, but one step at a time. It's going to take time, unfortunately, because it's not all there. But to be able to have at least some positives like that within the squad, it's good, whether or not it's same manager to be able to have stalwarts there that you can rely on.
This is just a 500 team right now. That's what it is. Point blank period. They're just a 500 team. Three losses. There's a draw in there, but 3 wins. Like that's what they are. 500.
I think you guys can be a little better than that, but it comes down to things we've talked
Sure.
about. Like the playing Maguire is.
That's just
He
falling
He
into
knows
bad
what it
habits.
means.
It's just bad.
It-
It's just falling
I
into
do-
bad habits because he's a leadership
Yeah,
guy.
it is falling exactly, but I think that goes a little deeper than even the manager. Like he needed to be out of the.
Yeah.
He needed to be out of the club.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. We're moving on. He shouldn't be an option anymore, and it's a little complacent to have some of these guys. Considering I don't think last
Given
season
who else they said
with
that
what he
to.
did, yeah, exactly. Maguire
mean,
would have totally
Rashford's
been
got
able
out
to,
at
you would have
Barcelona.
been able to ship him off. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Rashford's a little more of a hot commodity, but I do think Maguire before the issue was that he couldn't be sold off. He then he did himself a little service and improved his game to what it used to be, I guess.
Good squad player to have, but yeah, he shouldn't be starting
Exactly.
every week.
And then you can then ship him off at that point, either a favorable loan financially or you sell him for a little bit cheaper than what you wanted, and none of that happened, and he's still getting minutes, and I think that's the issue.
There were people that were suitors for him this summer, and the club said no. That's ridiculous to me. It's just ridiculous to me because you could have used the money to go get another center back. There's too many center backs in world football right now that could have gone into this situation and probably done a similar thing. Look, they already proved it. They got De Ligt. He's been great since they signed him. So it's just falling into bad habits because you think that you don't have enough, and so you hold on to certain things. But and people get angry at like Rasmus Højlund playing well and Garnacho's having good cameos and Rashford playing well. Like, I hate to break the news to United fans. That's a fucking good thing. That's a great thing. Look, if people go and look at United's squad and they go, we can go get somebody here, whether that's at a discounted rate or in general can just go into the weeds of United's side and get players that are serviceable, people will come and buy them. You look at Arsenal's team, like Arsenal's just a great example because it's very similar. They can't sell players because the back end of their roster doesn't either play or they grab those players and they play like shit because they're not good. Like Smith Rowe is a great example. Like he's talented, he never plays. So nobody's going to go to Arsenal and say, give us your product because we know it won't produce. But if United are having guys like Rashford play well or Rasmus play well or Garnacho play well, you can say, hey, look, like it didn't work here, but it could work for you. It's a selling pitch. And United need to get rid of shit to get shit. That's how the industry works. It's how clubs operate. And I think people lose their minds. Look, Rasmus scoring, I'm like, fuck yeah, keep doing it. Make that obligation fucking permanent as quick as possible, too. Look, if Rashford keeps playing well and Barca fork up the money for him, the 30 million, which is way too low, and I think that's way too low. That's great, dude. Fuck, that's 30 million in the cash flow. And United have no cash. So I think being positive is just a tough thing with United. People don't want to be positive, and that's okay. They haven't proven anything.
Kills you, Dylan. It's the hope that kills you.
Look, man, I got nothing left to go off of. If I was fucking negative on this podcast all the time, like you guys would probably be like, dude, shut the fuck
already be
up.
Dead.
I would be dead. The podcast would just be you two guys being like, remember when Dylan was on this podcast? That was weird.
Now we'd move on pretty quickly.
Well, fair enough. It's the way the industry works.
Gotta keep the show moving.
I think there's a lot to go off of.
Showbiz.
I think like we've been talking about all fucking episode is that this international break comes at the best and worst times.
Yeah.
For every club.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we even talked about it with Liverpool. Like they are going into international break with 3 losses in a row. And that has to sit for 2 weeks.
Marinate.
They get to be away from that situation for 2 weeks, but like Grant's saying, marinate. It's sitting in the back of their minds and they're thinking about that. Not good.
Esteval winner.
United, they just felt that taste of joy and they want to feel that again. Now it's 2 weeks until you got a chance at feeling that again, and you have to go up against league leaders. So I think it's just tough for everyone. I'm hoping we get a little boost out of it. I think Chelsea will probably get a boost out of it injury-wise. But hey, international break.
Yeah, well,
Exciting.
you know what they say. They say pressure makes diamonds, but it also makes shit.
It's a good quote.
It
That
is a
should
good
have
quote.
been my yearbook quote.
It really should have been. Pressure makes diamonds, but it also makes shit. And that's why we produce the highest quality content every single week. Every
We got a
single
lot of
week.
pressure.
Doesn't
Multiple
stop.
times. It's because I take a lot of shits. That's what I'm implying.
Get the counter up. Maybe pull that up.
Hey, you guys want to see the counter again?
Pull the shit
All
counter
right.
again, Jimmy.
I've got nothing left to say. You guys got anything else?
No. Good
Cool.
way to end it.
Alrighty, well, if you're watching this, we're gonna be testing out a live, hopefully getting it on TikTok for Friday's game, and we're gonna do an international one because we need to test it. So we'll be watching the U.S. M&T play. I think it's Ecuador.
No
yeah.
Caicedo.
No Caicedo, so they might win.
He's resting.
It should be a good one though. So as always, follow us on all socials and all that stuff. Plug us one more time here. But here we go. From Grant, Mila, and myself, we have been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 65, and we will see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.